Hello, welcome to this webinar. Today's topic, Nutrition Labels, your guide to good health. The Nutrition Facts label provides important information about the food you consume. If you want a permanent weight loss, you must become a regular label reader. This is where you will find the serving sizes, calories, fat, carbohydrates, and sodium information that can help you select the best foods and beverages for your long-term health. As we review each section of the nutrition facts label, please find that information on an actual food label or on the label of your handout. The handout will be linked to this presentation. At the top of the nutrition facts label is the serving size. This is the amount believed to be typical serving for a food. If you must always ask yourself, is this the amount I really eat? To see, serve the amount of a food that you will normally eat, then measure it or weigh it and see whether this amount is the serving size listed. You will need to either increase or decrease the nutrient information on the label based on the portion you really eat, or you will need to change your portion to fit that serving size. If you do not, you may not meet your calorie or nutrition goals. Can you find the serving size on your label? Serving sizes are right here. The calories. Of course, you are controlling your weight. The calories on the label are just as important as the serving size. Again, if you eat a larger or smaller amount than that list as your serving size, you will need to increase or decrease the calories listed. Calories are right here. Many people report that they also look at the fat listed on labels. Total fat, along with saturated fat and trans fat, are on the label. Any fat has twice the calories as the same number of grams from carbohydrate or protein. Why do you think grams of saturated and trans fat are provided? Because saturated and trans fats increase unhealthy LDL cholesterol that may increase the risk for cardiovascular disease. To see how many unhealthy fats you are consuming, add up both the trans fat and the saturated fat grams on the label. Choose those with the lowest of both. You can find that information right here. Dietary cholesterol is needed by the body and is even produced by the body. However, high amounts of cholesterol in your blood may also increase the risk of heart disease and stroke. Cholesterol is only found in animal foods, not plant foods. So oils, margarine, and shortening are cholesterol-free since they are made from vegetable oils. But butter, lard, and fat back contain cholesterol since they are made from animal fats. Even lean meats, fish, seafood, and poultry contain cholesterol since they are from animal foods. Research shows that saturated fat and trans fats increases LDL cholesterol in our blood more than the cholesterol we eat. However, it is wise to keep your total intake of dietary cholesterol to an average of 300 milligrams per day. And you can find that information right here on the label. Sodium can increase the blood pressure and therefore risks for cardiovascular disease and kidney failure. It may also increase the risk for osteoporosis and stomach cancer. Most Americans consume more than the recommended 2,300 milligrams per day. Use the nutrition label to find the foods lowest in sodium. And you can find that information right here. Carbohydrates are starches, sugars, and dietary fiber. Fiber is the only carbohydrate that provides few, if any, calories and will not raise your blood glucose, the sugar level in your blood. Starches and sugars usually provide most of the energy we need to function. Added sugars are mainly empty calories. Cut back on added sugars and increase fiber intake to control your calories in a healthy way. You can find that information right here. Protein is essential for maintaining your muscles and organs. It is rare to get too little protein, but getting enough will help you to feel more satisfied with your meals. The highest amounts are in meat, fish and poultry, and dairy foods. Smaller amounts are in eggs, nuts, beans, and peas. You can find the protein right here. Now let's see whether you can use the nutrition facts labels you have to answer the following questions. First, look at your serving size. What will be the amount if you ate double the serving? Next, if you ate two servings, how many carbohydrates would you get? Now let's look at the total fat. As we said, fat is the most concentrated source of calories. Let's figure out how much total fat you will get if you ate 1.5 servings of your food. You can also see on the label the actual numbers of calories from fat. Now look at your labels and find the sodium content in one serving. Then, as I ask each question, write your answer yes or write your answer no. Who has less than 700 milligrams of sodium in one serving? Less than 500 milligrams? Less than 300 milligrams? Less than 100 milligrams? Or less than 50 milligrams? Now look at the sugar content. Again, for each question, write yes or no. And remember that for these activities, you are gonna have your own products in your hands. So who has more than 5 grams of sugar? More than 10 grams of sugar? Who has more than 15 grams of sugar? Finally, let's look at the saturated fat grams. This is one of the fats that may increase the risk of heart disease and stroke. Again, write down your answer either yes or no. Who has less than 15 grams of saturated fat? Who has less than 10 grams? And who has less than 5 grams of fat? And who has 0 grams of fat? Were you surprised by how much fat, sugar, and saturated fat were on your label? Take time this week to look at the nutrition labels of foods you commonly consume and decide which are lower or higher in these nutrients. The Food and Drug Administration has worked on revising the nutrition label for several years. They believe that people do not understand the current label and cannot easily find the information that is important. Here is the old label next to the new label. On the proposed label, the calories are now larger so you can see them better. Also, the serving sizes will be changed to reflect what people really consume. The number of servings in a container is also easier to see. The percentage daily values have been moved to the left of the nutrition information so you can compare products quicker. For the nutritional content, a big change is the addition of added sugar so you can know how much sugar has been added compared to how much it naturally is naturally there. Vitamin A and C will no longer be required at the bottom of the label and will be replaced with potassium and vitamin D that are typically low in the diets of Americans. You can use the nutrition labels to make better choices at the store to help you with your weight loss. To begin, examine one or two of your favorite foods at home for the calorie and fat content. Then, go to the store and look at the same information on the labels of similar products. You may be surprised to learn that there are differences in the information depending on the product. Try another version of the product that contains fewer calories and or fat. You may find you like the new version just as well and more foods per week. And you can really save on fat and calories by just switching. Sometimes you will find an acceptable alternative and sometimes you won't, but it will be interesting to experiment. To summarize, successful weight loss depends on you becoming informed about what you are choosing to eat. The best way to know what you are consuming is to read the labels. If you are new to label reading, only focus on 1 to 2 nutrients at a time that are most important to you. Don't try to change too much too fast. Just compare the labels on 1 or 2 products per week when you go to the grocery store. If you can find similar products that meet your needs better, then try them. You may be surprised at how many substitutions you can make if you do this regularly. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll see you next time.